I know this place. I remember it, although my memory is still clouded. I was here with Merlin. We had a disagreement about something important. It was here that the idea of how to end the war with the Four Dwellers first took shape. But what happened next is still unclear. I don't remember. And yet, I know it had something to do with Seawall, a place of his eternal rest. But something is wrong. It doesn't feel like a tomb. Be cautious.
You are not him. You are different. I am Seawall Firstfoot, the one who scouted the land before the traitor Arthur set foot on it. Yes, it is my legacy. The Jewel of the South, the safe haven of honorable men. I've been here for so long, it doesn't matter anymore. The Dalriata promised me revenge. They understand what happened here. Everyone who comes here has the right to ask. I was the most loyal of Arthur's men. I was the first to go ashore and take on any danger that might arise in this new and unfamiliar land. Then came the war. I fought by his side, shielded him with my own body. I trusted him. But Arthur wanted more. Arthur longed to possess a power equal to that of our enemies. So Merlin decided our king must first become immortal. Only then could he achieve greatness. But Merlin needed volunteers. Trusted people to go first to make sure that his methods were effective. So we wouldn't risk Arthur's life in trying to grant him immortality. They thought I had died, so they buried me. Arthur's greed and Merlin's obsession made me what I am now. Arthur should have made sure. They thought I was dead, but I heard everything. I know there were others after me. I know that the king didn't hesitate to do anything to achieve his goal. He experimented on all the knights, abusing their oath. He told them it was for their lives. Our lives. Arthur doomed their names. He sacrificed the lives of the noblest of... And this is the greatest possible betrayal. We cannot be helped. We cannot be killed. The Dalriata promised to burn down Camelot. Avenge the memory of all my brothers. Camelot was built on betrayal. right to live in truth. When Camelot falls, we will finally be free. Build a new world.
And? What do you think? Oh, they're just fools. Somebody made a stupid mistake in the past. Somebody else decided to cover it up. Somebody came up with traditions and stories to mask what was done. And for hundreds of years, fools were eating it up because the lies were easier to believe. Really, there's no point in invoking tradition any longer, because it's worth shit. The only thing that matters is safety and loyalty towards the one who can provide it. And honestly, I don't believe the ones running this entire circus will protect anyone but themselves. Well, now we've found ourselves in what I'd probably call a clusterfuck. And somehow, you unwittingly became the most important person in the region because your decision will change how the entire situation unfolds. You see, my boys from the Horns of the South are split down the middle. Some will back me, but others won't understand what I'm trying to do. The latter, like Feargas, are the traditionalists, and they know me a little bit too well. If I come to them with this revelation, they think it were a conspiracy. But if somebody from the outside, somebody Feargas trusts, steps in and convinces him, you see where I'm going with this? Ha! That's what I wanted to hear. I knew I could count on you. Go talk to Feargas, get him to visit this place. After you're done, please visit me in the shrine. I just hope Feargas shows some sense and doesn't let his pride take over.
It was the most painful thing I heard. I didn't know. I had no idea this is what happened to him. There were other things that required my attention. We were losing the war. I was needed everywhere. I should have paid more attention to what Merlin was doing. I should shouldn't have let go. Much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants. Not yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camel.
Oh, really? And here I thought the Horns of the South had no secrets left to hide from me. But go ahead. Surprise me. Have I ever mentioned I'm not a big fan of your sense of humor? Now, tell me what you really want, or walk away. In silence, preferably. This isn't funny. I'm no Galahad, burning people at the stake for heresy, but I don't appreciate this kind of behavior either. Still, judging by the look on your face, you actually believe you've stumbled onto something important. All right then. I'll go and check it out. See what's got you so worked up. It might even be nice to get out of here for a change. I saw what you wanted me to see. We need to talk. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think. Everything I believed has been seriously challenged. I need some time to get used to it. Why did you show this to me? Because it could be that I'd be better off not knowing. What they did to Seawall is unthinkable and absolutely unforgivable. What will the other keepers say? What will happen to the Horns of the South? And what about Camelot? Everything we believed was a lie. You're right. In the end, it doesn't matter what Camelot was back then. What matters is what we are now. And we did everything in our power to keep the South safe, and to keep our lighthouse on through every storm. But this will be the end of the Horns of the South. No young man will join our ranks when hundreds of years of our history are gurgling down the drain. Any ideas? It sounds better than the alternative. That we're a bunch of fools believing in children's fables of knightly honor, valor, and purity. And we'll have to give everyone some hope to cling to after the truth about Seawall comes out. All right. I assume Brandon put you up to this, so you can go and congratulate him. He won. I'll support this case, if only for the safety and well-being of our boys. I don't have to like it one bit, but I can try to make it easier for the garrison.
Ah, you're back. So, what news do you bring? Did you talk to Feargas? Good. Just as I expected. I do feel for the boy. He really loved Camelot. Probably the last truly loyal keeper. But he had to know the truth. I knew his honor wouldn't let him hide it from the others in the Orns. Nicely done. Now, I'll get One Eye, and together we'll go to the Orns with the good news. Not everybody will be happy about it, but that's for me to deal with. Those who don't support us will be released from their oath, and I'll ensure they're safe until they leave the South. After that, whatever they choose to do is up to them. Brothers, today marks a new chapter in the history of the Horn to the South. Today, we put an end to fear and poverty. I understand your pain. I know you feel helpless in the face of the looming terror of the weirdness. Camelot has abandoned us, brothers. For years, they've given us no aid. All they do is take our resources, send us to senseless slaughter, and keep us in the dark. Camelot doesn't see us as equals. They've forgotten Seawall Firstfoot's legacy and the promise King Arthur made to us. We were meant to stand as equals. We were meant to be just as powerful as them. And all this time, do you know what they've done to the founder of the Horns of the South? For over 600 years, Seawall has been alive, forgotten by King Arthur and all of Camelot. You don't have to take my word for it. Seawall's tomb is open. Go and see for yourselves. I say, enough. Enough of being fed a rotten myth that turned out to be one great lie. We swore loyalty to the torturers of one of the noblest knights to ever walk Avalon. I say, enough. We will no longer honor an oath made to dishonorable people. We won't let ourselves be exploited any longer. But, my brothers, I bring news. Galahad the Pure, the same Galahad who threatened to burn half our garrison at the stake, is dead. Galahad's death is our chance to break free from Camelot. Enough lies. No more risking everything for those who only know how to take. You're probably wondering, how can we protect the South on our own? How can we defend ourselves when Camelot comes to reclaim their slaves? Yes, that's what we are to them. I know the lockdown of the fortress surprised you, and for that, I truly apologize, but it was necessary to keep you from attacking our new allies, the Del Rita tribes, led by One Eye.
I know, my brothers, I know. This must be a shock, especially since I didn't share my plans with you earlier. But hear me out. Thanks to this alliance between the Orns of the South and the Dalriada tribes, we're securing the safety of the South and our independence from Camelot.
The tribes will provide us with the military support our depleted ranks desperately need. The tribes will help us rid the South of the bandits who've plagued our people for years. Together, we'll share knowledge and resources to ensure a better future for all Southerners.
We will not drain your resources. In fact, we'll replenish your armories and fill your pantries. We'll stand together, fighting side by side to bring peace and order back to the South. In return, all we ask is your loyalty. If you see a brother from the Dalriada fight in the Camelotian, stand with our brother. That's all.
Of course, if anyone isn't in favor of this alliance, you have the right to leave the service. I declare a new era for the Horns of the South. Those who don't wish to help build this future are released from their oaths. To those who choose to stay, I promise a good life, and you won't face any more threats. Now, brothers, return to your duties and rest easy. The Horns of the South will endure, and soon we'll be stronger than ever before. An honest matter. What do you need? Ah, right. See, the problem with Excalibur, or indeed any of King Arthur's blades, is that you need to prove you're worthy of wielding it. How are you supposed to do that? Hell knows. But if the pin that secured your entry to the Horns has led you here, I think I know what the one who gave it to you might have been thinking. You see, there are many different legends. According to one of them, there are a few places on Avalon where you can prove yourself worthy, whatever that means. And one of those places, as you can probably guess, is nearby. Have you seen the old gong in the sunken village? Well, many years ago, when people still went to the woods for a shit instead of using a privy, it was part of a certain ritual. Only the people who passed the ritual could become keepers. None of the living keepers were recruited that way, so we don't really know what happens during the ritual. That's why Galahad now appoints keepers and the captain chooses them. It's just safer that way. I only know that you need to sound the gong and then lie down to sleep at its base. If you wake up, when you wake up again in the morning, you'll know you've been deemed worthy. Unfortunately, the gong is broken, so first, you'll need to find a way to fix it. And since it's made of weird steel, that's not going to be easy, is it? Fortunately, Oshbrit should be able to help you. A little bird told me he likes to play with weird steel when nobody's looking. Just tell him I sent you, and he won't give you any trouble. Well, of course they tried. It turns out that the keepers who passed the ritual could hold it longer than anyone else. Maybe it'll be enough for what you need, and maybe something entirely different will happen. It's your risk and your decision. Then you'll have to find someone smarter than me, because I already told you everything I know. Well, I'm not going to lie. From what I've heard, many people never woke up. They fell into eternal slumber, so that's why we abandoned the tradition. And those who woke up were changed, and none of them ever wanted to say exactly what happened there. Go, and may the southern wind be in your favor. If you need anything from the old captain, you know where to find me.
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe.
Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it. How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment.
Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to, if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
I have nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it, but I'm guessing that wouldn't work. Riordan's back, and with the Dalrita, no less. Bold move. Let's hope he knows what he's doing, or the Keep's going to be in for one hell of a mess. Hope nothing bad happens today.
again. Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled. If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. Call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something. I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them. Wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised. And the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? Merlin. Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea. Immortality. Me and Seawall, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness. And turn our king into a monster. Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? Fight back. Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done. Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win. And desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar. Even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. Of course he'd say that. There's always a scapegoat and a convenient excuse for men like him. But it doesn't absolve him. Not when he was the one who unleashed this madness on all of us. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want something that badly, you stop looking too closely at what's being done in your name. And, after all, who said we were supposed to win this war? Who said we were supposed to survive? The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos. All of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do. You've seen what they did, what he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this, once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you, or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you. Start. You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The Menhir there is failing. The weirdness swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest. The voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield. And then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember, to fight for those ideals, to uphold them, even when I was gone, even when there was no king left to lead them. Yes, it seems we knew each other well during the war, and this proves that I sought allies beyond our own forces, and I trusted him enough to carry the knowledge of Excalibur. This must count for something.
No. Cool. That's a huge weight off, but maybe now we'll actually... Brendan, if he's made...
Someone's out. This is mine. You're no match for us. No, you're. This is mine. Belongs to us. Your money. We'll make short working. Your road ends here. Did you hear something? Your gold belongs to us.
Oh, you're finally here. But our crows are not. I don't know what could have gone wrong. Maybe I misheard. Maybe I mixed up the names of the villagers. Oh no. They're here, aren't they? You won't get me. Over my dead body.
That can be arranged. However, it just so happens you're too valuable for us to simply kill you.
I'm not going with you. You won't take me alive.
Calm yourself, Vidar. You know exactly what you did, and why you'll cooperate with us willingly. Well done, Hatchling, for bringing Vidar to us. Your efforts will not go unnoticed. Exactly what it looks like. We're taking Vidar. He's far too valuable to simply let him die. I'd advise against interfering. Oh? Perhaps you'd like to learn just who you're risking your neck for. Vidar probably spun you some tale of being a harmless Pict, a scholar of the weirdness, captured by cruel bandits? So Vidar's a scourge to his own people. He's been hunting his own kin for years. He's the one driving the Picts from the region. If you support him and let him go, you may as well start hunting them yourself. The two of you can enjoy your genocidal romance together. And meanwhile, Avalon will lose the only force capable of fighting the horrors of the weirdness. Frankly, it's quite reckless.
The only ones I killed are children of Morrigan. Yes, some of them were Picts. But once you swear yourself to that wretched order, you stop being human. That's why they lured me here, don't you see? I've slain those who murdered my kin, not the other way around.
Ah, so this is the bedtime story you tell yourself so you can sleep at night. How quaint. I only kill the wicked. I only hunt the guilty. Sure, sure. Tell me, Vidar, when did you start deciding who still counts as human? That sounds worse than anything the children of Morrigan ever did. Oh, nothing terrible. Since he's been thinning out his own tribe, those best versed in the weirdness, we'll use him as a bargaining chip. We'll hand him over to his kin and let them decide his fate. In return, we hope to gain a scholar of the weirdness willing to work with us of his own free will. It's not a bad solution, wouldn't you agree? Believe me, we don't have to be enemies. In fact, we can help each other. The children of Morrigan are dedicated to Avalon's well-being. Naturally, we operate from the shadows. We've long realized that working that way yields better results than marching under Camelot's banner in broad daylight. That's our purpose. Securing resources like scholars of the weirdness, guiding those in power to serve the people's needs. So, all it'll cost you is a pity. Then let's see if the strength in your arms matches the sharpness of your mind.
Feel her touch. You did well. Good to see you didn't fall for that snake's alive. Have you ever heard of whispers of shadow governments, of secret orders pulling strings? There's more truth to those than most would care to admit. They don't rule openly, no. They place their people in key positions, courts, military outposts, anywhere decisions are made. Not as commanders, but as the ones whispering in their ears. The trusted right hand, the loyal servant. They scheme, they influence, they guide the hand of power. And so, their own hands remain clean. Because that's how the children of Morrigan operate. They'll twist the truth, manipulate whoever they must, all to further their own agenda. You saw through it. Not everyone does. Their shadowy influence can be alluring to some. It's reassuring to know there's still some decency left in Avalon. Perhaps we think alike. Time will tell. There is. I was one of those they manipulated, and I paid the highest price. I was the head of the Hoyt family, one of the most respected among the Picts. One day, we took in a girl from another tribe. She seemed innocent, pure-hearted. Oh, she twisted my mind, drove me to the brink of... By the time I learned she was a crow, sent to bring ruin to my family, that's why I know what they are, and what... I've made it my life's work to root them. You've seen what they're capable of. That's why I ask, will you stand with, or at the very least, a wise choice. I have a lead on another crow spawn. Take him down, and we'll be one step closer. In the meantime, I'll keep hunting. Their reach is further than we can see. But mark my words, we'll root them out, no matter where they hide. Look for Rolf, a keeper of the South. Paranoid, erratic, always seeing plots where there are none. For once, he might not be wrong. I overheard something. Whispers that his brother once served as a fledgling among... That alone would make him a top, and knowing them... The children don't leave loose ends, and if they've turned him, a keeper swayed by the children of Mor, he wouldn't just be a traitor. It looks good.
Sly bastard. No one else could have pulled off something like that. You won't hear me complaining, that's for sure. Brandon finally broke the decades-old crust that had grown over this place. Nothing thrives in stagnation, least of all trade. Now, this place might finally get a bit livelier. Personally, I can't wait to see where this goes.
I like it when things are... quiet.